Hello and welcome to FTB Sports. This is Sam and Mike, and we are going to do a preview of the Everton versus Chelsea game tonight, 8 p.m. We're both Spurs fans. Mike, how do you feel about doing this?
Tottenham fans talking about any other London team is quite difficult, but going to try and be mutual. Going to be try and be mutual.
Unbiased opinion. Let's go for it then.
Yeah.
Right, what's your thoughts on tonight's game?
I think it'll be pretty much business as usual for Chelsea. I've had a quick look at their both predicted teams and the lineups, injury lists. I know Everton have got James Rodriguez. He's missing. He's still out injured.
Yeah.
Everton's. They started off very well this season. Very well.
They were flying.
Yeah, they were flying. But since that Liverpool game, I think they got brought back down to earth a little bit. And over the past few weeks, their back line is a little bit. They're there for the taking, that back line, which against Chelsea's attacking threat, I can only see positive things for Chelsea in this game. I think they'll have too much in midfield and going forward for Everton to handle. I know Everton they've got those three centre midfielders who are they're solid players, but yeah. I still think Chelsea have just got too much attacking force for Everton's back line to keep them out. So
I was going to say last time out it was a draw. I think they played Burnley 1-1 versus Burnley. So again, you could look at that sort of result and think, is that a good point for Burnley? Is that a good point for Everton? Being at home, I would have thought that Everton would have probably wanted the 3 points, no doubt.
Yeah.
So going into this game, my thoughts are it's going to be tight, I think. But I'm like you, I can't see anything past a Chelsea win, to be honest. We'll get to the scores at the end anyway. Let's do that. How do you think each team will feel going into tonight in terms of confidence?
I think Chelsea would be. I don't think Chelsea's confidence will be anything short of being high. They've got nothing and nobody to threat at in the present form that they're in. I just can't. They'll be high. They'll be buzzing. They'll be well up for this game. I think they know Everton are there for the taking. It's up to Chelsea to perform in order to get the points. But and Everton, I think for Everton, if they put in 110% and they battle hard for 90 minutes, they could get sunk out of the game. But they've really all got to be firing on all cylinders to get anything today, I think. Especially when someone like as influential as James Rodriguez has been, him missing. He's a massive player for Everton.
He's going to be a big miss. I think he's going to be a big miss for them. And it's going to be interesting with a tactical battle. Obviously, Frank Lampard was formerly under Ancelotti when Ancelotti was at the Bridge for a couple of years, I think, 2009. So it's going to be interesting to see how the tactical side of things kind of pans out, because I do rate Frank for his tactical side of things. He's played well against the likes of us when we've had battles with them at the couple of games we've had. So he does know how to set teams up. So it'll be interesting to see how they set up tonight. I think they'll put out their main guns. You got the Timo Werners. I think Giroud will probably start as well.
Do you think he'll start?
I think so.
Well, he deserves to start. I do agree. I think he deserves to start. I wrote Chelsea. I wrote what I thought Chelsea's formation would be, and I had their front three as Havertz. I think it's pronounced. Is it Pulisic?
Pulisic.
Yeah, I had them two playing either side of Werner, and I didn't think Giroud would start. I thought he might come on in the second half, but then he's been fighting. To be fair, Giroud's been. He scored 4 goals in the Champions League the other night. So How do you leave someone out? I don't.
I was going to say the only thing I'd say about the Pulisic thing is that he apparently he was rested in the week because he had a bit of a hamstring issue. So whether or not he's going to be fully fit for this, probably is if he's been rested on the game in the midweek. But you know, Giroud's has been banging him in recently, so you never know.
And how do you, like you say, how'd you leave someone out? I mean, he scored 4 goals, wasn't it? The other night. The argument, you can't leave someone out. You can't leave a striker out who's in that sort of form, and off the back of 4 goals, you've got to give him. I suppose you've got to give him a chance. But yeah, that'd be the only question in that team, in terms of who starts. I think the rest of that team, that Chelsea team, pretty much picks itself. I mean, that young Reece James. Is it Reece James?
I like him. Reece James, right? Yeah. I like him.
Yeah, I do as well. I mean, he's got the pace and the legs to keep running up and down that flank.
100%.
And he's definitely, if he carries on the way he is, he's going to be a top player.
He's already made his England debut, so I can only see big things for him going in the future.
I was going to say, I can only see him. I mean, if he carries on the way he's performing, as he has done this season for Chelsea, he's got to be in contention as a starter for England going forward. I don't think you can ignore him.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Well, looking forward, obviously we don't know who's going to be starting tonight, but which players from both teams should we be looking out for, based on the fact that, you know, we've got an idea of who possibly will be starting. In my opinion, I think, you know, the players that have been on form, you've got the likes of Werner, obviously, and as I mentioned him before, Giroud, if he starts, it would be a very good, you know, introduction to see how he does from the start of a game in the Prem.
Yeah.
But Chelsea have got a lot of options. They've got a whole second 11 that they could possibly bring on anyway, or start, shall we say. So it's going to be difficult to know who they're going to play. The likes of Everton, Richarlison will probably start. You know, I'm not really sure who they're going to replace in midfield for James. I could probably see, Sigurdsson. Sigurdsson will probably start.
Yeah, I think he might get a good. He'll get a start, I think.
But the midfield battle, as always with most of these games, is going to be key. But I just think Chelsea have got far too much firepower up front. That's the main thing. I think the firepower is going to make the difference. Yeah,
no, I totally agree with you. Midfield will be the key battle, but I mean, I'm guessing Kante will be starting. He's been a bit hit and miss this season. For me, I know the last few games he started to come back, like he's starting to show his old self, but he hasn't been hitting the heights as he has done previous seasons. But again, he's still a top holding midfielder.
Definitely.
And he's always going to start for Chelsea as long as he's fit. And
I think because Chelsea have got that many attacking options, they've now decided, you know, not to play Jorginho and Kante. They've got Kante, and Kante's so athletic he can get around the pitch a lot more. So if they play with the 1 and the 2 in front, Kante always does a good job up there. Well, back there, should I say? And he'll get around the pitch and he breaks things up. He gets the ball, he gives it. But he's been playing, what I've seen of him, he's been playing a little bit more attacking wise as opposed to that just defensive Kante. So he's getting the ball, and at times he is going forward. He's taking the ball into dangerous areas. So he could be one to watch out for as well. Be a difference maker.
Do you think Mason Mount will start?
Let me have a think. Yes, because I think Frank likes him. I think he's one of Frank's kind of players that he really likes. Obviously, when Frank was involved in the youth setup, I think he was one of the players that Frank had always lauded up to say he's going to be the one. I think he gives them that sort of energy, that sort of, you know, they've got a lot of players in there, but that sort of reliable player that you think, and I can see Mount being in that starting 11, just who was going to be alongside him and Kante, but we're surmising here. We don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what's your final score predictions before we go?
I'm going 2-0 Chelsea. I think it'll be a tight game, but like I say, I can't see anything past the Chelsea win. I don't think it'll be an easy win, but I still think they should get the job done. And as I say, I'm going for 2-0.
Okay. Well, Chelsea have been keeping clean sheets recently. Defensively, they're looking a lot better. Are probably going to go along with you. I think they'll keep a clean sheet, and they've got a lot of firepower. So 2 goals. Yeah, I can see 2-0 away victory for the Blues.
Yeah.
Well done, Mike. I think we've done well. That's as fairly unbiased as you can get with that.
I think that's as unbiased as Spurs fans can get talking about Chelsea.
Dear. So, guys, look forward to the game tonight. If you're a Chelsea fan, even if you're not a Chelsea fan, 8 p.m. kickoff. And yeah, like, subscribe, share, comment, and we'll see you later. FTB Sports. Thanks, Mike.
Cheers.
See you, bye.
Cheers, man. Bye.